Well, I got something pretty fancy here. Straight from Bear Country, USA, Black Hills, South Dakota. Come on, baby. Check it out. 1965 Fender Mustang. In mustard yellow. Let's get on the bench, take a look. Somebody back in the day gave it a fresh paint job. I think it actually looks pretty keen. We'll call it mustard yellow. It's damn close. Almost orange in a way. Oh boy. You can nick that brand new old paint. June of 65, April, June. This is right after the CBS buyout. You can see some of the original white paint under there. Let's take the electronics out and see what kind of shapes those are in. Okay, pull this nice celluloid guard off. And let's listen for the crack of the paint. Oh, look at that, didn't even stick to the guard. See some of the yellow paint got the switches on the side. And we got some of the original white paint under there. Let's take the controls off too. Well, looking at the solder joints, I cannot see that any of them has been unsoldered. So maybe when they painted this thing, they didn't even take the electronics out. Maybe they just covered it up. I don't know. Anyways. Let's let loose that original Fender factory solder. Ruin the value of this vintage instrument. All right, let's finish up by freeing the tremolo unit from the guitar. Crack of paint, come on. There it is. All right. What a silly, simple little unit. You just yank on the strings and that's your tremolo. Or vibrato. Dynamic vibrato. Patent pending. That's the good stuff. Potentiometers. 137, 65, 28, 28th week of 1965. 250K audio taper. 0.05 cap. Everything's original on this instrument. At least it appears to be. 08, 1665. Gray bobbin pickups. Let's give the pickups a measure and see if they're okay. That's not good. Open load on all of them. You should be getting something. Go straight to the pickup. Maybe the switches are nasty. 5.75K. $5.78K. So I don't know my Fender Stratocaster, or excuse me, Mustang pickups well enough to say that that's in specs or not. But what does bother me is they were run without covers, which ain't the best idea. Exposing the coils like that, no tape or nothing. So we'll have to get a set of covers for it. Okay, to the task at hand. The reason why I'm making this video is because this 1965 Mustang was spray painted at some point in its life. I mean, who cares? I think it's kind of cool, man. You know, who doesn't want a mustard yellow guitar? But I think most people that would want an instrument like this would prefer that it had the original paint on it instead of this kind of half-done, you know, rattle can job. It's okay, but there's some drippy spots. You know, there's some orange peeling. So I tried a couple little spots. I think I can get this finish off. Let's try a couple different methods. I've got naphtha. I've got some mineral spirits. Good old-fashioned H2O. 1000 grit wet sand and paper. I got some medium polishing compound and a little sanding block. So the idea is I'm going to try to use either the mineral spirits or the naphtha and the wet sandpaper to cut into the original spray paint finish and just kind of start to loosen it up. And then once I get some of it off, probably use the medium polishing compound to take it off. The naphtha is there to help clean it off as well. The mineral spirits, I'm not 100% that I'll be able to use that without damaging the original finish. I think if you don't let it soak too long, you probably should be fine. The naphtha, I feel a little safer about. Definitely would want to stay away from anything stronger than that, like acetone would be a bad idea. So, yeah, let's give this a little shot here underneath the pick guard. Someplace where if things go badly, we can just turn around, abandon this whole plan and this whole video. Okay, now I'm getting close to the original finish. We're going to try some of this buffing compound, see if we can't take it a little slower. Let's get you a little closer and you can see where we're at. All right, so you can see we're down to original white paint. Kind of leave an interesting look because the mustard yellow, I think, soaked into the lacquer cracks. So it's gonna be a very like defined cracking pattern on this instrument, which might look cool, might look silly. I guess we'll see here in several hours when I get all this shit off. Hour and a half in and it is starting to look pretty good. Original paint, haven't sanded through in any spots yet. Just been using the 1000 grit sandpaper and the mineral spirits, and that's been doing a great job. Using the sanding block, getting down to the small areas, starting to use my fingers. I'll get a couple more tools here in a minute to get the real detailed areas. But I've got the back still to do, I've got the sides still to do, and then I've got several grits of paper to work through, so I'll just show you after those results. Okay, 8 hours in, sanding and polishing and cleaning and sanding. Yeah, it's good. You know, it's not perfect, but I'm really not trying to hide anything here. I didn't bother to take out the paint in the routes because I would almost rather have somebody have a little indication that this thing has been monkeyed with rather than thinking it's all original. So I'll put it together and we'll take a closer look at it. Who is LM and who is B? Okay, and it is now all back together. So, time to play it. So, final thoughts on the Fender Mustang. Sounds like a Strat. It plays different. I mean, it doesn't feel like a Strat, but it sounds like a Strat. I know people argue that they're in different positions, and that's true. I don't think you get as fat of a sound out of this guitar, out of the neck pickup, as you do a Strat, which is about the only setting on a Strat that I really like. Personal preference. Oh, another thing, the tremolo on this is it gets a little wacky. It's just too fast for me. I really like a Jazzmaster tremolo. These are all personal preference. You know, you might love a Fender Mustang, but you know, you also might have got kicked in the head by a donkey at some point in your life. I don't know who you are. I don't know who the hell is watching this video. So I might do some more work on it. Actually, I will do some more work on it. Question is whether I'm going to film it or not. So thanks for watching. If you've got an old Fender with spray paint on the finish, I mean, don't be afraid to try and take it off. Take your time. Go very slowly. I mean, that's the only advice I can really give. Don't expect it to be original. The damage has been done, and it's not even damage. You know, people are, these are vintage instruments, you know, I couldn't believe anybody did that. You know, these were fucking kids' guitars back in the day, and you know what? Like a mustard guitar, that's still kind of cool. In fact, I miss it. I might repaint this thing. Thanks.